Hey guys, you're osmvdxreviews.com. This is our video overview of the Bose Redline Cube speakers. These are a pretty interesting product that's been released actually by Bose quite a few years back, but they still remain one of the most very portable type of speaker from Bose, and they remain kind of a classic, if I may say so. It's a product that's been referenced over and over again. It's very popular. It's not very expensive in Bose's selections of sound and audio speaker systems, and again, it basically represents kind of what Bose is all about, which is making speakers that are quite small in size produce, again, very three-dimensional sound. Now, in terms of actually the speaker value, back when these were released, they were very expensive, and I have to say that I agree with a lot of people when they say that Bose speakers, not headphones for that matter, are considerably overpriced. If you take a look at what's inside the actual speakers and the components, because the Redline speakers, this is a modern speaker, so it's also a version that was released in the 1990s. The modern version, that's the newer one, is actually made entirely out of plastic, the body, and inside the driver itself is just a little bit 2-inch paper driver, so the actual cost for manufacturing one of these speakers aren't very high. But again, Bose has a lot of technology in terms of its design, which plays around with a lot of tricks with the audio to make things come alive and makes things three-dimensional and makes the range a little bit higher. But in today's standard, you can get these definitely for a lot cheaper. I would say it's selling right now for around $80 to $100 for a pair of two, and at that price, I think you might even still be able to get better deals, to be quite honest. First of all, I'm going to talk about who the Bose Redline speakers are for. Now, if you're someone who loves watching movies, especially action films, then these speakers are a must-have because they're small and they're invisible. They're so small. Here's my hand. They look aesthetically very pleasing. The Redline design is not showing up too well on the camera, but it's actually a very classy move, and you can actually line up the speakers, and the line just basically connects the speakers in different ways and can form patterns. It looks pretty nice. So this is for someone who is very limited in space, perhaps in a very small entertainment space. Also for people who love to watch movies and want to make things three-dimensional. It's great for wall mounting, so if you want to put this on a ceiling, one on each side of the ceiling, and invest in more of these, it's a great option. What this is not for is for people who want to make a bold statement, because these are very small. It's also not for people who just want to listen to music and only music. Perhaps these are good for classical music and more jazz and relaxed styles of music, but if you're really very sensitive to music, and you want to listen to rock or something like that, Bose speakers are very loud. They produce a ton of sound, and for their size and their sound, in the industry, basically, you're going to find that these speakers produce, in terms of size, the most sound out of any manufacturer. But as far as sound clarity goes, they have a very distinct range where sound is very clear and very crisp and good sounding. It's kind of in the middle tones. Because again, these speaker drivers are very small, and you can tell by the size, and we talked about the value a few moments ago, they technically can't do very low bass sounds or very high sounds because drivers are tiny, and as a result, again, Bose basically integrates technologies in there to place different sounds at different frequencies to kind of fool your ears into thinking it's actually playing a lot lower or a lot higher sounds. And as a result, it's very loud, very three-dimensional, and it's quite enveloping in movie conditions. But in terms of listening to pure music, you will feel that sometimes it's not super crisp, and the transitions are a little bit rough, but that's basically to take note of. There are definitely more clearer sounder speakers on the market, definitely even for considerably less money than what Bose is offering these at. With that in mind, these are still a good pair of speakers for any consumer looking for something. It's a very reputable lineup, because out of all of them produced, although there are people who love them, there are people who hate them, there aren't a lot who have had defects, and they all work out of the box really nicely. And Bose is actually one of the companies which backs up their products really well, although there are people who say that they're not the best, sound-wise, which are not, because there are, companies like Bang & Olufsen, which are evidently miles ahead, and even at cheaper companies at that, might even produce more quality sounds. But again, those boxes are going to be a lot larger. These are for, again, invisible conditions. Talking about the warranty, I have heard stories where people have had one of these, they've broken down within the warranty of around 10 years. They go into the store without a receipt, and Bose will automatically basically refund you one or give you a new one in exchange. So again, the customer service is just very much outstanding, and you're buying for peace of mind, I guess, for that 10 to 15 year duration where you're going to be using these speakers. So they are aesthetically pleasing, and I guess a lot of design has gone into the exterior of this product. But if you are truly, looking at sound alone, it might not be the best value out there. Still, these are a pretty nifty set of speakers. If you can find it at a good price, I would recommend the Bose Redline Cube speakers. Yeah, it definitely beats a considerable amount of speakers on the market today, especially if you're considering, again, that size and that they're competing with a very, very small size speaker, and you're not comparing these to giant boom boxes or anything like that, and I think you'll be satisfied. So thanks for watching this video review here at osmvtxreviews.com.